There is a major problem with this Vivi ban.
In case you haven't heard, 7 cards were banned this morning, 3 in Standard, Vivi, Screaming Nemesis, and Proph's Eidetic Memory.
And I want to be clear, Vivi needed to be banned. This is a good thing, right? I love this card more than most Magic cards ever printed, but there's no question this had to exit Standard.
And after making the announcement, Wizards wrote an article explaining the reasons why, and they also explained that they felt that the super stretched out ban announcement cycle probably wasn't the healthiest for Standard, because, now we have 7 Standard sets coming out next year. There are so many sets existing within the Standard rotation.
But also, buried within the explanation of why these bannings happened was a very, very problematic few sentences explaining how we got here. And I'm going to go into all of them. Be sure to hit that follow button if you guys like content like this. I'm always talking about what is new and trending in the world of Magic.
Now, just in case you guys aren't aware of the huge problem, the thing that really prompted this ban, it's the card Agatha's Soul Cauldron that taps to exile a creature card from a graveyard. When a creature is exiled this way, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. Creatures you control with +1/+1 counters on them have all activated abilities of all creatures exiled with Agatha's Soul Cauldron. And I'm only explaining this because it's kind of a complicated interaction that I think a lot of people take for granted that everyone understands, and maybe some people don't know. But you basically tap Soul Cauldron, you exile a copy of Vivi from your graveyard, you put a +1/+1 counter on any creature you control, and now that creature gets to spend 0 mana to activate Vivi's ability, no matter what that creature's power is.
It's an exceptionally powerful interaction, and it's one that existed between 2 sets that were pretty far spaced out between Wilds of Eldraine and Final Fantasy.
And so in the article explaining these bannings, when describing why they banned these cards, including Proph's Eidetic Memory, they state, "We designed and tested Proph's Eidetic Memory in Karlov Manor Standard, a format where most of its powerful synergies didn't exist. We noticed this lack of options and made Steam Core Scholar in the same set to be a great card alongside Proph's Eidetic Memory." They continue to write, "As new cards were released and the overall package became stronger, the experience of playing against the deck became less fun."
Now, Proph's Eidetic Memory is a very powerful Magic card. So powerful, in fact, that it's in the Arena Power Cube and is a very good card in that cube.
And Steam Core Scholar is a very forgettable, just fine Magic card from a Standard set.
But the problem, as you might have guessed, is that having so many Magic sets come out in short sequence, 7 new sets in Standard next year, means that ever playtesting all of these cards together becomes very difficult to do. Playtesters don't have the ability to do that. Some of these designers are working on separate Magic teams from one another. And so Vivi and Soul Cauldron never get tested together, and the interaction is entirely missed.
As I was thinking this, I saw Saffron Olive posted something very similar on X, stating, "I appreciate the transparency, but reading the explanation for today's bannings doesn't give me confidence in the playtesting process for 3-year Standard. If you can't playtest Prophs with a card just a few months in the future, how can you possibly playtest for a set dropping in 2028?
And that is, of course, the problem, right? So much Magic product means that having Standard exist with a 3-year cycle just means like things like this are going to happen, right? It's almost unavoidable. Even if you have a tighter ban schedule, it's still going to happen. What are your overall thoughts on the bannings? Let me know below in the comments.